Missed Ade Oladipo.
Have you blocked anyone? Have you pressed the mute button?
No.
Because I see people came for your head about Mbappe.
People were furious, but no, I don't block it. I don't even look, Eddie.
The
It's got
Mbappe
to the
clan.
stage.
No, the Mbappe clan's a big one. You didn't know that, did you?
They are a passionate bunch, that's for sure. I didn't know that. I honestly didn't know. Were you aware that
I
Mbappe
was
had
aware.
this devoted clique of people that adore him?
I was aware.
And they
honestly.
really do go to bat for him.
It's Ronaldo Messi-like.
Yes, it is.
Like, it doesn't matter how he plays, doesn't matter what he says. They are devoted Kylian Mbappe fans, and there's nothing you can say to anything.
Do you know what's so difficult for me to empathise with? Like, I love Chelsea, right? I love football, the game, and then I love my team. I've never really felt support towards a player. Look, there's players that I adore. There's players that I will love till my dying day, right? Whether it's Gianfranco Zola, Dennis Wise, I will love them forever. But I don't support a player. Whereas I feel like there is now this swathe of generally young people, I'm going to say, like decades younger than us. Yeah. And I think that they pledge unilateral, partisan, aggressive support to a player, like not to a club. I think that they dedicate their support to a player. I can't get my head around it.
No, it's a great point you make. I said this about when all this talk about Kylian Mbappe going to Saudi Arabia. And I said fans nowadays, or a certain, as you say, a certain section of fans nowadays will support a player. And wherever that player goes, they go. So they will eventually support Paris Saint-Germain because Mbappe's gone there. But as soon as Mbappe goes, they go where Mbappe goes.
But they're not really supporting Paris Saint-Germain. They support their player, and for the furtherance of their player, Paris Saint-Germain are collateral. Paris Saint-Germain have to do well because they want Mbappe to do well. Yeah. But they don't really support Paris Saint-Germain. But it's very weird. But those people, that crew, that army, that clique of Mbappe fans, they really did come for me. And let's face it, Addy, I didn't say anything particularly hostile. I didn't say anything particularly outlandish. All I said was, and this is like a verbatim quote, all I said was, I don't think that Kylian Mbappe is the best footballer in the world. I don't even think that's that controversial. If you think he is...
You said a few more things.
No, if you think he
said
is...
a few more things.
No, not really.
You said, well, it's because of the league he plays in. He's never done it in this, never done it in that. There was a few more. You didn't just say it like that. Don't try. And I know you said it verbatim, but let's think of what else you said as well.
I don't think that you can be... Is this too hostile? Look, La Liga, the Premier League, Serie A. I think that the best player in the world has to have an established record in one of those three leagues. Yeah. Is that fair?
No.
It's not fair?
No.
So you can be the best player in the world but not touch one of the top three leagues in the world?
Yes.
That's fair?
Yes. I believe if you do it in the World Cup, see, there's a
You believe it today because it suits your argument.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think you would have believed this yesterday.
If you do it in the biggest trophy you can win, the biggest trophy a footballer can win is a World Cup. Right?
That's true.
That's true. So if you do it in that tournament, he's won one. He was arguably, I think, the best player in the last World Cup. I know Messi won it, but I thought Mbappe was sensational. Hang on.
The World Cup argument, I think, is pretty hollow. The World Cup, Kylian Mbappe in his entire life will have played, 14 games in a World Cup, wouldn't he? 14 games he would play. So you're anointing someone as the best player in the world based on 14 games.
I'm anointing someone for producing when it matters in the best tournament in world football.
Yeah, but when you think about what a World Cup is, France always go into a World Cup as one of the best teams. They invariably play teams in the group that they are always going to be. Like if you think about, say, their route to winning the World Cup in 2018, think about the teams that they played along the way. Obviously, they had that huge clash where Pavard scored that goal against France. Against Argentina. So there are those. But I mean, they played Denmark along the way. They played Peru along the way. And yes, Kylian Mbappe
Does he deliver, though, in the big ones? Yes. Does he deliver in the very biggest games? So the finals, the quarters, the semis, does he deliver? The answer is yes. Look, by the way, I'm playing devil's advocate here because I fully understand your argument about if you're not doing it in the top three leagues. I get it. But you know what it is? I think we all know, like when they make that joke about could Messi do it on a wet January in Stoke? Of course he could.
Yes.
We know he could. So I know Mbappe can.
Yes.
Because he hasn't doesn't mean I know he can't. No, I know he can.
I agree, but you can't imply the truth. Like you can't.
Okay, so what makes him? Okay, what makes him a top three player in the world? Then you say he's in your top three. Why is he in your top three?
For everything else that you've said, for all of those other reasons. I just don't think that you can say that he's the other reason why I think it's very difficult to say that he's the best player in the world at the moment is firstly the reigning Ballon d'Or exists and it isn't with him, and secondly we've just watched Manchester City complete a treble. We've watched this amazing abundance of talent that Pep Guardiola has manoeuvred and put together and changed a lot of the way that football is played.
An amazing collective of players.
An amazing collective with a couple of jewels in the crown.
Yeah.
I think it's very, very disingenuous of us to say that the best player in the world doesn't play for Man City at the moment. There are 2 jewels in the crown, aren't there, at Man City? In my opinion, 3 because I love Bernardo Silva. But okay, let's just say 2 because not everybody loves Bernardo Silva the way that I do. There are 2 though. There are 2 stars. Erling Haaland is a star, and in my opinion, deserves a Ballon d'Or. I feel like the Ballon d'Or will go to Lionel Messi, almost in the way that Leonardo DiCaprio got the Oscar. Just because he was so good for so long and he got it in the end. I feel like Lionel Messi, because of what happened at the World Cup, I feel like he will win the next Ballon d'Or, whether that's correct or not. But in my opinion, it should go to Erling Haaland. And then if you think about the heartbeat of Manchester City, it's Kevin De Bruyne. It's very difficult to say that one of those 2 players aren't the best players in the world.
Mbappe is better than Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, you're basing it on his form in Ligue 1 and in his form against Peru.
And in the World Cup.
Yeah, Peru.
And in the World Cup against England. The team that you said were going to go on and win it, and the team that you said, because they didn't win it, South Africa should be sacked. It's a disgrace because they got all that talent. Mbappe tore them to shreds.
It's very true. I mean, I think Kyle Walker did a very, very, very good job there.
He did okay. But look, anyway, text topic is an interesting, because look, we're obviously, me and Rory are going to go back and forth from this. And we don't just want who is the best player in the world right now. It's too easy because Haaland, Mbappe, De Bruyne. Who are the top 3? Right now, top 3 best players in the world. I say it's Mbappe, I say it's Kevin De Bruyne, and then I'm going to think about the third. Those are my 2. I know Rory's going to say Bernardo Silva and anyone else.
I do love Bernardo Silva, but no, I think I'm going to say Erling Haaland in no particular order. Haaland, De Bruyne, Mbappe.
Okay, there's Rory's 3.
I think Lionel Messi, actually, is he still in? Do you think we have to put Lionel Messi in?
Are we counting out the guy that is the current Ballon d'Or holder? Is he gone? Because he's gone to Saudi Arabia? Is Karim Benzema no longer a good footballer? He won the Ballon d'Or 8 months ago.
Good text in here from Andy. Andy in Manchester, great text. Straight away. Read that one out, Oladipo.
Mbappe, I assume you haven't watched him play against Kyle Walker. He isn't in the top 3. What's he won at club level? That's the real test. Andy in Manchester. He's won the league in France.
Very wise man,
won the league in France, but I guess
Andy in Manchester. There's no flies on him.
Yeah, I like the way he said, what's he won at club level? Just forget international football.
But this is the problem with playing for Paris Saint-Germain. You're winning Ligue 1 is almost seen, maybe incorrectly, but it's seen as a given, isn't it?
I think we're a bit naughty when we speak about that. Like we call it the Farmers League and stuff. When we watch what some of their teams do, whether it be in the Europa League, Europa Conference League, or sometimes even the Champions League, they're not as bad as we think, But it's just that Paris Saint-Germain, the riches of the club, they should be dominating that league. Like, do you remember fairly recently, Lille won it, didn't they? Do you remember Yilmaz and all that? Yeah.
Like, that was seen as like a total catastrophe for Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah. You think, hang on, they just haven't won the league once. But because of the dominance, because of the financial security that they have, because of the players at their disposal as well. Remember the players that they've had there at Paris Saint-Germain recently. You know what it
is with Mbappe, and this is when we see him against anyone, and it's just, he's a baller. When you watch him play.
I agree.
Like, again, forget all those stats about, he hasn't scored in the Champions League knockout stages against top teams. When you just watch him play, you just know you're watching someone special. Chris, Spurs fan, has got him with he's free. Mbappe, Kevin De Bruyne, Vinicius Jr.
It's a great shout.
Vinicius Jr. is a great shout,
Andy, you know how you think it's Mbappe? Can I ask you a question, genuinely?
Go on.
If Kylian Mbappe now decides to go to Saudi Arabia, if this Al Hilal transfer happens, does that affect your decision?
Yeah.
Oh, it would?
Yeah, it does. He's not even playing Champions League football then, is he?
No.
He's not even, I know that the league is a bit, but surely he's not even playing Champions League football, so yeah, it would certainly go.